Step into the water. Feel the current swirling round. Step into the water. Feel the power nearly pull me down. Step into the water. Feel the river running strong. Let the waters bring me home where I belong. Seated on this cushion of moss, 'neath the rhododendron tree, tucked beneath her branches, in a womb of reverie, the creek flows fast and muddy, and the bed is rocky and wild, but the water calls me in. Come and join me for a while. Step into the water. Feel the current swirling round. Step into the water. Feel the power nearly pull me down. Step into the water. Feel the river running strong. Let the waters bring me home where I belong. One foot, then the other. It's a tentative approach. With both feet on the bottom, I think I can hold my own. But as I lift a foot to step ahead, the force grabs onto me. Still I'm drawn to the deep of the middle, where the current's flowing free. Step into the water. Feel the current swirling round. Step into the water. Feel the power nearly pull me down. Step into the water. Feel the river running strong. Let the waters bring me home where I belong. Standing in this deepest place, my life is under siege. I gather strength to ground myself and open to receive. There is a power in the water, and I can take it in. There's a wisdom in the universe, carried on the wind. Step into the water. Feel the current swirling round. Step into the water. Feel the power nearly pull me down. Step into the water. Feel the river running strong. Let the waters bring me home where I belong. Oh, let the waters bring me home where I belong.
Good morning and welcome to First Parish in Needham, a Unitarian Universalist congregation founded along with the town of Needham in 1711. We are a proud LGBTQ welcoming congregation, climate justice seeking green sanctuary, and level 2 sanctuary supporting congregation for immigration justice. However you are, whatever your background, and wherever you're participating from, you are welcome here. I am Rana Monadorfer, member of the Ministerial Internship Committee, co-chair of the Auction Committee, and member of First Parish since 2017. As you know, our congregation is gathering for Sunday services and programming in a hybrid multi-platform format, with masked in-person as well as online gatherings. As Unitarian Universalists, we have an ethical commitment to serving the most vulnerable, which will guide our ongoing work to continue to deliver excellent online programs which complement our in-person ones. We hope all of you will plug into our Zoom gathering opportunities throughout the week, including Zoom social hour after every Sunday service. Although our buildings remain under certain restrictions due to the COVID-19 pandemic, our faith community welcomes everyone. You can learn more about all that's happening at First Parish by going to our website, uneedham.org, or by following us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. For all Zoom links and the most up-to-date information, please sign up for our weekly email newsletter by going to our website and clicking Get Involved Newsletter, or sending a request to office@uneedham.org. Our sincere hope is that these online, hybrid, and outdoor services and connection opportunities will help us keep the public health precautions required during this pandemic without losing much of the spiritual, emotional, and social closeness that we treasure in our faith community. If you're watching this service from outside the church, please take a moment now to say hello and introduce yourself in the chat box. As member of the Ministerial Internship Committee, it is my absolute pleasure to invite you to Jenna Crawford's ordination, which is to take place Saturday, June 4th at 4 p.m. in the sanctuary, and refreshments to follow in Parish Hall. Welcome again to everyone, and good morning. If you're watching this service from outside the church,
As we light our chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, we read responsively words from 20th century Scottish-American writer, professor, librarian, and veteran Archibald MacLeish, with the words in your orders of service and at number 583 in the back of your gray hymnals. I imagine these words about young dead soldiers will strike a certain painful consonance with us today, as we also mourn so many young victims of this past week's mass shooting. I will lead us in this responsive chalice lighting with the plain type, and you'll respond along with Kelvin with the italicized type, either here in the building or from home. The young dead soldiers do not speak.
Nevertheless, they are heard in the still houses. Who has not heard them?
They have a silence that speaks for them at night and when the clock counts.
They say, we were young, we have died. Remember us.
They say, we have done what we could, but until it is finished, it is not done.
They say, we have given our lives, but until it is finished, no one can know what our lives gave.
They say, our deaths are not ours. They are yours. They will mean what you make them.
They say, whether our lives and our deaths were for peace and a new hope, or for nothing, we cannot say. It is you who must say this.
They say, we leave you our deaths. Give them their meaning.
We were young, they say. We have died. Remember us.
Our opening hymn, This Is My Song, was written by 20th century Euro-American poet Lloyd Stone as a song of peace. The tune by Jean Sibelius is most associated with the patriotic movement in Finland to be free of Russian control. Please rise in body or in spirit and join in singing This Is My Song. The lyrics are in your orders of service and at number 159 in your gray hymnals.
This is my song, O God of all the nations.
Before the covenant, I want to remind you all that our wonderful ministerial intern will have her ordination next Saturday at 4 o'clock, live and also on Zoom, right? Please come. In the Unitarian Universalist tradition, the covenant is a set of promises the membership of a congregation strives to honor with one another and out in the world. Though we cannot all gather together in person during this time, we strive to live these promises every day. Please say along with me the words of our parish covenant as in your emailed and print order of services. We gather as a loving community to encourage and comfort one another. We gather as a diverse community to support each other in our search for spiritual truth. We gather as a service community to live our beliefs through action and care for our world.
In the Unitarian Universalist tradition,
Good morning. This month, we're discussing our worship theme of divinity, those things that we hold to be holy or sacred. Sometimes we find divinity within ourselves or within others, like when love shines out from inside us through our actions, or when someone else maybe shares the wisdom of their lived experience. Sometimes we find divinity outside of us, like when some among us may believe in one or multiple deities or gods that they pray to, or maybe when we connect to the web of life of which we are a part, when we go on a beautiful mountainous hike, or maybe we're taking in the beautiful breeze at a beach. This morning, we are reading together a book about divinity in one of these forms, specifically when people talk about God. Many of us do not believe in God, and that's okay. Part of the beauty of our Unitarian Universalist faith is the diversity that we bring to it. But we also know that it is important to hear from others how they experience faith or God, even if those beliefs are not our own. So let's take some time this morning to hear just one of these perspectives as our book asks the question, what is God like? What is God like? By Rachel Held Evans and Matthew Paul Turner. Illustrations by Ying Hui Tan. What is God like? That's a very big question. One that people from places all around the world have wondered about since the beginning of time. And while nobody has seen all of God, because God is far too big for any of us to fully see, we can know what God is like. God is like an eagle, sharp-eyed and swift, with wings so wide you can play under their shadows. God is like a river, constant and life-giving. When you grow near God, you'll sprout up as strong as a tree. God is like a shepherd, brave and good, a protector who loves her sheep so much that she watches over all of them and knows each of their names by heart. God is like the stars, forever present and bright, even when they feel far away. You can always look up and see them winking at you. God is like a fort, strong and secure, with walls that are mighty and safe. Inside, there are hidden places to hold you when you're scared or need a quiet place to rest. God is like a gardener, patient and nurturing. God plants, waters, weeds, and fertilizes the earth until every good thing on it seeks the nourishing sun and grows. God is like the flame of a candle, warm and inviting. With God close by, you can look to the light and see through the darkest of nights. God is like the wind, passionate and full of mystery. God is both here and, mysteriously, also over there. God is everywhere, swirling through the world, whistling across mountain ranges, rustling through trees, and pressing against your cheeks on a breezy day. God is like an artist, creative and unpredictable, always busy making and remaking everything brilliant and new. God is like a mother, strong and safe. You can crawl up into her lap whenever you want to, and she will hold you until you fall asleep. God is like a father, gentle and safe. He will put you on top of his shoulders to give you a bird's eye view of all creation. God is like three dancers, graceful and precise. They move to the same music in very different ways, showcasing all of God's elegance and rhythm in your life. God is like a rainbow, vivid and full of color, a dazzling reminder of promise and hope for all people after a storm. And because we know what God is like, we know that she is your protector, he is trustworthy, they are your friend when you feel alone. God hopes, God perseveres. What is God like? That's a very big question. One that people from all places all around the world, throughout all time, have answered in many different ways. Keep searching, keep wondering, keep learning about God. But whenever you aren't sure what God is like, think about what makes you feel safe, what makes you feel brave, and what makes you feel loved. That's what God is like. We don't have to believe in a singular God to understand how big and welcoming our connection to faith and to divinity can be. As Unitarian Universalists, we know there is a goodness to be found in our hearts and in the way we treat one another. How has the divine shown up in your life? And just as we may ask, what is God like? Let us also ask, what are we like? Are we the divine force for justice and good that we want to experience in our world? How do we reflect love and care in our own lives to those around us? May we never stop looking for ways that a loving embodiment of the divine can show up in our own lives and in the lives of others. Ashe, Amen, and blessed be. May we never stop looking for ways that a loving embodiment of the divine can show up in our own lives and in the lives of others. Ashe, Amen.
This is our time during our worship service when we share joys and concerns that are very close to our hearts and to our lives. Our ministerial intern, Jenna Crawford, is still receiving pre-submitted candles at internminister@uuneedham.org by the Thursday before the service at midnight, which we will share at the start of this ritual. If you are in the parish hall and have a joy or concern, you're welcome to quietly offer a stone at the altar and write your joy or concern on a slip of paper, which the pastoral care team and the ministers will see at a later time with your permission. And if you're watching on Zoom or YouTube, you may type your candle into the chat box to be held by the community watching the service with you. As our services do stream to YouTube, we cannot guarantee that your joys, concerns, sorrows, and milestones will stay within the First Parish community. So you're always welcome to reach out to me or to Jenna or to our Pastoral Care Associate of the Week, Gail Lehman, for pastoral care or to share more privately. Our only pre-submitted candle this morning is from me, Reverend Katie, she, hers. This is a candle of joy for my mother for completing her last immunotherapy infusion this past Wednesday. It's also a candle of gratitude for everyone who has supported her and our family over the past 12 months of treatment. And now, if you're in the sanctuary and have a joy or concern, you can come forward, light a candle, and then state your name, your pronouns, and briefly describe what is on your heart.
My name is Susan Commuti. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. My daughter-in-law, Ashley, and her sister, Sarah, lost their grandmother a couple of days ago. It was not a surprise. She was sick, and they had lost their grandfather about 4 or 5 months ago. So they see this as a way for them to get back together again. But they grew up next to their grandmother and grandfather's house, so very, very, very connected to them, and they're both feeling really sad. So just wanted to share that. Thank you.
May the peace of this sanctuary be felt too wherever you are participating from, as we remember that though we are worshiping in different places and at different times, we are still deeply connected. Amen. As we mourn so many mass shooting deaths over the past 2 weeks, 10 dead in Buffalo, 1 in Irvine, 21 in Uvalde, we pray together for our journey ahead to uproot our nation's racism and deadly gun culture. We lit 10 candles 2 Sundays ago for those killed at the Top supermarket in Buffalo, targeted because it's in a majority Black neighborhood. This Sunday, I asked Kelvin to please go to the altar and light 22 more tea lights for all those others killed in recent mass shootings, 1 for the Taiwanese American worshiper, 2 for the Texas educators, and 19 for the Texas elementary students. As Kelvin lights these candles, would you join me in the spirit of prayer and meditation? Let us take a deep breath in and let it out, and allow our bodies to feel the communal grief, fear, anger, and disappointment we are experiencing in the wake of yet another school shooting. First, we speak the names of those who were killed in the mass shootings in Irvine and Uvalde. John Cheng, 52, Navia Bravo, 10, Eva Morales, 44, Xavier Lopez, 10, Jose Flores, 10, Irma Garcia, 48, Ellie Garcia, 9, Tess Mata, 10, Lexi Rubio, 10, Jayla Silguero, 10, Jacqueline Cazares, 9, Jace Luevanos, 10, Miranda Mathis, 11, Amiri Jo Garza, 10, McKenna Lee Elrod, 10, Layla Salazar, 10, Maite Rodriguez, 10, Annabelle Rodriguez, 10, Eliana Cruz Torres, 10, Rogelio Torres, 10. Althea Ramirez, 10. Uzziah Garcia, 10. With these names held in our hearts, let us pray together these words from Jewish Israeli-American writer and educator Alden Solovi, first written in the wake of the horrific mass shooting at the mostly gay Latino men at Orlando's Pulse nightclub in 2016. God of the slain, God of the murdered and the victim, the voice of lamentation echoes across the land. Wailing beside graves opened too soon, weeping beside stains of blood from the dead and the injured, pouring forth from bullet wounds. The child shot, the suicide, the domestic assault, the gang violence, the mass murder, the long night of death made easy by guns and automatic weapons, the long night of sorrow made easy by reckless access to machines of slaughter. Source of justice, rock of strength and truth, you call upon us to rise in the name of common sense and reason, to witness on behalf of the innocent and the cut down, the widowed, orphaned, and bereaved, to answer the scourge of senseless loss, to advocate for gun control, to remove military weapons from the civilian population, to return sanity to our laws, our policy, and our lives. Bless those who dedicate themselves to gun control. Grant them fortitude and perseverance. May the work of their hands never falter, nor despair deter them from their holy calling. Bless those who are mourning the dead. Grant them solace and comfort. Bless those who are healing from the trauma of gun violence. Grant them lives of health and prosperity, joy and peace. Amen. Please remain seated and join in singing our meditative response, Hine Matov, in Hebrew. It translates to, "Behold how good it is and how pleasing when all people dwell together in peace." The lyrics are in your orders of service and at number 392 in your gray hymnals.
Hine matov umanoi
This congregation has been supported by the volunteered time and treasure of its members and friends since its founding in 1711. This is the time in our service when we, the modern stewards of this church, offer what we can to build and sustain the congregation and the world we envision. On this Sunday, after such a horrific period of gun violence in our nation, we are designating our entire offering collection to Everytown for gun safety. In 2013, Mayors Against Illegal Guns and Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America came together to form Everytown for gun safety to tackle their shared goal of ending gun violence. 40,000 Americans are killed from gun-related homicides or suicides every year. Everytown for gun safety brings together researchers, survivors, parents, students, gun owners, and educators to develop evidence-based policy solutions to end our epidemic of gun violence. To donate to our collection, you may use one of 3 different methods as described in detail in your orders of service. You can use the text to give, you can donate through our website, uuneedham.org, or you can write a check or give cash in the offering plate or mail your offering to First Parish at 23 Dedham Avenue. Whatever way you give, please be sure to specify whether your gift is for this Sunday's collection, for your 2022 pledge, or for your 2023 pledge. And many thanks today to Darren and Tracy Zinner for our beautiful flowers given in honor of the much-loved mother and grandmother, Ellen Zinner. May the ushers now please come forward. Our reading this morning is a 1935 poem by queer Black Harlem Renaissance writer and activist Langston Hughes. The original language has been maintained. Let America be America again. Let it be the dream it used to be. Let it be the pioneer on the plains seeking a home where he himself is free. America, never was America to me. Let America be the dream the dreamers dreamed. Let it be that great, strong land of love where never kings connive nor tyrants scheme that any man should be crushed by one above. It was never America to me. Oh, let my land be a land where liberty is crowned with no false patriotic wreath, but opportunity is real and life is free. Equality is in the air we breathe. There's never been equality for me, nor freedom in this homeland of the free. Say, who are you that mumbles in the dark, and who are you that draws your veil across the stars? I am the poor white fooled and pushed apart. I am the Negro bearing slavery's scars. I am the red man driven from the land. I am the immigrant clutching the hope I seek and finding only the same old stupid plan of dog eat dog, of mighty crush the weak. I am the young man full of strength and hope, tangled in that endless chain of profit, power, gain, of grab the land, of grab the gold, of grab the ways of satisfying need, of work the men, of take the pay, of owning everything for one's own greed. I am the farmer, bondsman to the soil. I am the worker sold to the machine. I am the Negro servant to you all. I am the people, humble, hungry, mean, hungry, yet today, despite the dream, beaten yet today. Oh, pioneers, I am the man who never got ahead, the poorest worker bartered through the years. Yet I'm the one who dreamt our basic dream in the old world while still a serf of kings, who dreamt a dream so strong, so brave, so true, that even yet its mighty daring sings in every brick and stone, in every furrow turned, that's made America the land it has become. Oh, I'm the man who sailed those early seas in search of what I meant to be my home. For I'm the one who left dark Ireland's shore and Poland's plain and England's grassy lay, and torn from black Africa's strand, I came to build a homeland of the free. The free? Who said the free? Not me, surely not me. The millions on relief today, the millions shot down when we strike, the millions who have nothing for our pay, for all the dreams we've dreamed and all the songs we've sung and all the hopes we've held and all the flags we've hung, the millions who have nothing for our pay except the dream that's almost dead today. Oh, let America be America again, the land that never has been yet and yet must be, the land where every man is free, the land that's mine, the poor man's, Indians, Negroes, me, who made America, whose sweat and blood, whose faith and pain, whose hand at the foundry, whose plow in the rain, must bring back our mighty dream again. Sure, call me any ugly name you choose. The steel of freedom does not stain from those who live like leeches on the people's lives. We must take back our land again, America. Oh yes, I say it plain. America never was America to me, and yet I swear this oath, America will be. Out of the rank and ruin of our gangster death, the rape and rot of graft and stealth and lies, we, the people, must redeem the land, the mines, the plants, the rivers, the mountains, and the endless plain, all the stretch of these green great states, and make America again. Here ends our reading. For the past few years, I've been reminded of why progressives have shied away from patriotism. Have you felt this too? That it's been harder to feel proud to be an American? When we can't even pull together to slow, even stop a deadly viral pandemic, nor a deadly gun epidemic, both short-term and obvious problems with straightforward solutions. It erodes trust that we as a nation can pull together for long-term, yet still obvious problems with complicated journeys toward resolution, like systemic racism and the climate crisis. Yet we are part of a living faith tradition that claims at least 4 American presidents, Numerous federal and state senators and representatives, members of the armed forces, many, many town meeting members, and many, many, many voters. Universalists, Unitarians, and Unitarian Universalists have long been civically engaged, have expressed a certain kind of patriotism. And so for this Memorial Day, remembering those who served, who were killed in action, fighting for the America that yet shall be, I am practicing reminding myself, and by extension the congregation near and far, what patriotism can mean to progressives and why it may be important for us to reclaim our patriotic roots. And I'm doing that through the song, God Bless America. God Bless America was written by Jewish-American songwriter Irving Berlin during the First World War, in which he served as a sergeant. But the song was first performed in 1938 at the Armistice's 20th anniversary, during the Great Depression and during the rise of Adolf Hitler in Germany. Berlin wrote the song in gratitude for a country that welcomed his family escaping anti-Semitic violence in Russia. According to the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts, Berlin removed certain phrases in his editing process so that God Bless America wouldn't be co-opted by war hawks and nationalists. In fact, after World War II, God Bless America was popular with union workers and civil rights activists, people working for progressive causes. But then there was a change. God Bless America became a popular song with those protesting against the peace movement in the late 1960s, and then popular with the Christian right as an easy way to pair God and country. Since the 1970s, the song has taken on a very nationalist connotation, despite Berlin's efforts to prevent that. We've been hearing a lot of this song since the terrorist attacks on September 11th, 2001. The United States Congress broke out in a spontaneous rendition of God Bless America on 9/11 itself. Maybe some of you were at Fenway Park in the fall of 2001 when baseball parks across the country began replacing Take Me Out to the Ball Game with God Bless America. At Yankee Stadium in 2009, a fan was actually expelled from the park because he tried to get up and go to the bathroom during God Bless America. Those dang Yankees. God Bless America has become an anthem for conservatives who have a very specific view of God and of America. How did conservatives take this song from progressives? For Unitarian Universalists, I can see three things right from the start we might have a problem singing about: God bless and America. We're a faith of nuance, complexity, flexibility, and these words seem so plain. But are their meanings so set in stone? Why give up the power behind these powerful words? What does God mean to us? Here in the States, when we hear God in the public discourse, we might immediately think of an old judgmental white man in the sky. He's a deity who plays favorites, who justifies war, who keeps an extensive list of who's naughty and who's nice. When you hear someone say God in the public discourse, is this the God you think of? But when you yourself picture that mystery which is larger than us, when you picture God, do you see that God? Words are signifiers. We, the people, collectively choose what words mean, what words will mean. The meanings of words change as we change. And God is a powerful word to let go. Like the beautiful cartoon character Jessica Rabbit in the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit, God was just drawn that way. Thanks a lot, Michelangelo. Many progressive religious people have redefined God over the centuries. We saw this in our Time for All Ages story today and heard it a couple of weeks ago when we listened to how you kids describe God as love, as a cat, as a chair. What would it mean if we Unitarian Universalists use the word God in public discourse to reflect what we believe? That God is a flexible, divinity, a divinity that speaks to different people in different ways, a divinity that unites in love, even though we are all very different, a divinity that may not exist, but we appreciate gives some people hope. What would it mean if we took God back to mean a loving, forgiving, just presence, the inner light guiding us individually and communally away from ignorance and hatred, a spirit of life and love? And what does bless mean to us? We here at First Parish could be considered a blessed people. On Maslow's hierarchy of needs, many of us have got the basics like food and shelter covered. Many of us here are white American citizens, which comes with many silent privileges. The problem with this kind of definition of blessed is that it typically implies someone else has not been blessed. When we ask for God to bless America, who gets to decide what blessing we need? Who gets to decide the we of America? And to say that we're blessed can elide the struggles we do have at First Parish, even as an overall privileged people. Sometimes bless can mask problems of poverty, addiction, discrimination, bullying, and violence in an individual's family, workplace, or house of worship. Words are signifiers. What does bless mean to us? We could say bless to ignore our unmet needs and the unmet needs of those outside our faith community. But what if instead we shifted the emphasis and purpose of bless as we can for God? We can reframe blessing as a human act. We all need blessings. It's okay to know we have unmet needs and to hope that one day they will be met. It is a bit of humility to know when we need help and to ask for that help and to ask for a blessing of resources we don't yet have within us, to ask for a blessing from our community. And to ask for a blessing for ourselves doesn't mean we are ignoring what others need. Our Unitarian Universalist 8 principles teach us that. We must open our ears and our hearts and our hands to people we may not see every week at home, at work, at school, at church. Then we will know better what blessings benefit the most people, including ourselves. Because the divine spirit moves in all people, we can be the agents of blessing to others. Has this congregation blessed you with spiritual, emotional, physical, or even economic blessings? Has this congregation inspired you to go forth and share such blessings with others? We can be both blessed and blessing. We can be cognizant of our own needs and the needs of others. We can make bless our own word again. And last, what does America mean to us? The song that we're talking about, God Bless America, has some ideas about what America is. America is the land that is free. America is our home, sweet home. But America doesn't feel like a free home to all Americans. We heard the poem by Langston Hughes that explicitly names some of those who don't always feel like America is their home of the free. He wrote, "I am the poor white fooled and pushed apart. I am the Negro bearing slavery's scars. I am the red man driven from the land. I am the immigrant clutching the hope I seek and finding only the same old stupid plan of dog eat dog, of mighty crush the weak. I have committed the sin of willful ignorance about America. I have glossed over America's problems in order to maintain my sense of patriotism, my love for my home. And when I read a poem like Langston Hughes's, I feel tremendously disappointed. Do you have this problem when you think about America? On the one hand, America has so much promise and has come so far. But on the other hand, can we progressive religious people really love a country that hasn't overcome even its founding errors? Can we really love a country that has so many problems? But words are signifiers. What does America mean to us? Let's get to the point of patriotism for progressives, Patriotism doesn't mean you idolize your country. That's nationalism. Nationalism says America is better than every other country, and what we say goes everywhere in the world because we're the greatest and we know best. That's America gone bad. Patriotism, real patriotism, says I love my home and I can see how it needs to evolve. Patriotism for progressives says we have got some problems here in the United States. I love my home and I want to be part of the process and progress toward becoming the America we could be. That's patriotism for progressives. What would it be like if this were the definition of patriotism in public discourse? In Langston Hughes's words, oh, let America be America again, the land that never has been yet, and yet must be. The land where every person is free. I swear this oath, America will be. What if our patriotism said that America really needs a blessing from the divine's movement in the world? That we know God blessing America could mean transformation into something new, something better. We might feel the Spirit move in us. We might gain courage and clarity on what to do next. And now we've got a lot to think about. God bless America. What does God mean to us as progressive religious people? What does bless mean to us? What does America mean? Let us think about what it can mean for us. For when we shy away from claiming God bless in America for ourselves, we permit nationalism to masquerade as patriotism. We give nationalists the power of these words. And so I want us to try something together here. I want us to say together, God bless America. We may all mean slightly different things when we say this, and that could be a good conversation during social hour. But I want us to try uniting around this statement as patriotic, progressive religious people. So you could say it with me here in the building or at home. God bless America. I know you're not doing it. It wasn't okay. Let's do it again. God bless America. One last time with some real heart. God bless America. Thank you so much. Some of you are like, I can't believe you made me do that. Rude. May we not have uncritical pride, and may we not ignore the great fissures and wounds in our society. But if I'm going to trust anyone to stand beside us and guide us, I will trust the God I feel when I pray for peace, the God I feel when I'm with all of you working for justice. God bless America. May it be so, and amen.
Feel free to sing along, or don't, as you feel comfortable. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
As we near the close of our service, remember that all are invited to social hour on Zoom and out in the parish hall. Remember that for social hour in the parish hall, you must keep your mask over your nose and mouth at all times. Keep a careful eye out for emails from First Parish and follow us on social media so you can keep up with opportunities for connection for all ages throughout the week and updates on our reopening and COVID-19 precautions. You can sign up for our weekly email, The Bell Notes, by clicking on Subscribe to Newsletter on our website, uuneedham.org. Coming up this week, we have Writing Escapes, Meditation Ministry, and Creative Escapes over Zoom. And then, as you heard, we are so thrilled to have the honor of ordaining our ministerial intern, Jenna Crawford, this upcoming Saturday at 4 p.m. here in the sanctuary and live stream to the parish hall and to Zoom. All are welcome to join in this meaningful and joyful occasion. And next Sunday, Jenna will be preaching her last sermon here at First Parish as we celebrate the start of Pride Month. Our cancer support group will be meeting on Zoom prior to worship, and caregiver support group will be meeting after social hour on Zoom. Please see your bell notes for more information about helping our social action team on the summer food drive for the Needham Community Council, about signing up to lead summer worship in July and August, and about attending our National UUA General Assembly in person or online. Please remember, if you fall ill or need any pastoral support, to reach out to Jenna, to me, to our pastoral care team and caring crew via phone or email, or reach out to our parish administrator, Susanna Whitman. We always extinguish our chalice here with words promising to carry its flame in our hearts until we are together again, no matter how long it is until we are all together again. Please join me from home or here in the building in saying those words written by Unitarian Universalist minister Reverend Elizabeth Sally Jones. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, nor the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Our closing hymn, We'll Build a Land, has lyrics adapted from the Hebrew Bible's books of Isaiah and Amos by peace activist Barbara Zanotti. You'll note in your order of service that there are alternate lyrics for the hymn's refrain to make the refrain more inclusive to trans and genderqueer people. Please now rise in body or in spirit and join in singing We'll Build a Land. The lyrics are in your orders of service.
We'll build a land where we bind
As we close our worship today, take these words of prayer from 13th century Italian Catholic friar St. Francis of Assisi with you as a benediction. In our ever-present need for thee, beloved, let us know your peace. Let us be your instruments that break every shackle, for do not the caged ones weep. And give us our inheritance of divine love so we can forgive like you. And let us be wise so that we do not wed another's madness and then make them in debt to us for the deep gash their helpless raging lance will cause. Darkness is an unlit wick. It just needs your touch, beloved, to become a sacred flame. Our service begins when our service ends. Blessed be, and amen.
I have to say, it's really nice doing this music live again. It's so much easier than doing recordings. And it's so much more present than just being isolated at home. We have the entire Pete Seeger Freedom Chorus right here. You scattered people over this way. So if you asked any school kid to sing this song, they would know it. Probably learned it when they were 2 in daycare. But when Woody Guthrie was writing this, he was actually busy documenting the Great Depression, documenting the Dust Bowl, and documenting all of the suffering that he saw around him. Very different from what it's become. Woody was also just rabidly anti-fascist because he believed that fascism could take over the world. He actually had written on his guitar, "This machine kills fascists." Painted it right on his guitar. So as a tribute to Woody, we're going to add 3 verses that he rarely got to perform and almost never recorded because it would have branded him a communist. Couldn't do it. But it's all part of what he wrote. So, Freedom Chorus, you can jump in on whatever words you know. We're going to start with the chorus. Yep. 1, 2, 3.
This land is your land.
Let's try that again. It goes 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and we come in. Okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
Okay. We're good.
This is so much better because at home, we'd have to re-record that.
That's right.
You know. 1, 2. This land is your
land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me.
I've roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of our diamond deserts, and all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. made for you and me.
Hey, so take it away, Woody. As I went walking, I saw a sign there, and on that sign it said, no trespassing. But on the other side, it didn't say nothing. That side was made for you and me. In the shadow of the steeple, I saw my people. By the relief office, I seen my people. As they stood there hungry, I stood there asking, is this land made for you and me?
This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. When the sun came shining and I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving, and the dust clouds rolling, as the fog was lifting, a voice was chanting, this land was made for you and me. Nobody living can ever stop me as I go walking that freedom highway. Nobody living can ever make me turn back. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Thanks so much.